It's good to have you today in another lesson with Mr. Alan. Today we'll be looking at a very interesting topic, so have fun learning. In today's lesson we are learning to explore the puzzle of viruses and their characteristics. What I'm looking for is to be able to explain what viruses are all about and their characteristic features. So at the end of the lesson you should be able to give an illustration or describe what viruses are and mention some features that makes them viruses. This picture shows you the structure of a virus. This is as seen under the microscope. Remember in the previous class I made mention that microorganisms are organisms that cannot be seen with the bare or the naked eyes unless with the aid or help of a microscope, while macroorganisms are organisms that can be seen with the ordinary eyes or with the help of the hand lens and so on. Viruses, as one of the microorganisms, is seen with the aid of a microscope. Could be an electric monocular microscope or an electric binocular microscope, or possibly an electron microscope, which is the most sophisticated of all types of microscopes. So we're going to look at the parts that makes up the structure of a virus. Now the first part is the capsid. As you can see here, the capsid is the internal part that consists of fluids surrounding the cell of a virus. Now here we have the nucleic acid, as you can see by the arrow indicating the nucleic acid. The nucleic acid is that part of the structure of a virus that enables it to carry out its daily activities, because the nucleus is the control center of any cell as the smallest fundamental, functional and structural unit of life. So the nucleic acid is that part that consists of the DNA, that is the deoxyribonucleic acid, which carries the traits or the characteristics of this virus, and whenever they replicate through binary fission, it is what gives them their characteristic feature or appearance. The sheath is the part of the virus that serves as the body. This is like the body that covers other organelles of the structure of the virus. It serves as a means of protection. Then the collar is just like the connection between the main part of the nucleus and the sheath or the body of the virus. Then it has spikes, as you can see here. The spikes, as the name implies, are structures that protrude with special hooks in such a way that it can hold onto the body of a host, so that when they find their way into a host body, that is what they use to hold onto any organ they wish to attack and cause damages or infection. So the spikes are an organelle for holding onto, like a hold fast to the structure of the host attacked. Viruses are non-living in nature and they are crystalline in nature, just like the crystalline form of sugar or salt, and they exist in tiny granules. But whenever they find their way into the body of a host, maybe through water, soil or land, or through the air, that is airborne, waterborne or landborne, or through food substances we eat, they become living, because the body of the host becomes suitable and make their replication to begin. And when they begin to replicate, they do that in microseconds, and you have thousands of them. When they multiply, they mostly cause infection. They are the vector of most diseases that people encounter in the environment, including lower animals, because they are vectors. Vector simply refers to the carriers of sicknesses or diseases or infection which affects humans and other animals. Now I move to the next slide. We are learning to carry out a review about vertebrates and invertebrates. Now, in our previous classes or elementary classes in science, we treated vertebrates and invertebrates. We say vertebrates are animals that possess a backbone or a notochord, and what that simply means that they have a support system that connects from the brain running through their back, and other parts of the body are attached or connected to it for movement, for running, for jumping, and other activities we carry out on a daily basis. Then invertebrate, on the other hand, is the opposite of vertebrates. They are animals that don't possess a backbone. Their bodies have an exoskeleton or an external covering that protects them from the harmful impacts from the environment, like temperature, wind, abrasions, and so on. A good example of them will be treated as we go through the slide. So what I'm looking for in this part of the lesson is your ability to give clear illustrations and differentiate between vertebrates and invertebrates. So at the end of the lesson, you should be able to distinguish using clear points that based on their features or characteristics to tell us what differentiates a vertebrate from an invertebrate. Look at the vertebrate class. Vertebrates are divided into 5 classes mostly. We have the class Amphibia. We call them amphibians. Their main feature is that they have a moist, permeable skin. Their skin is always wet. Examples are frogs, newt, salamander. We also have the Sicilian, and we have the toad as a member of this family. Then we have the class species known as fish. Their main feature is that they have gills for breathing in water. Then examples are goldfish, we have shark, we have cod, we have salmon, we have tilapia, we have the blowfish, we have the glowfish, we have the puffish, and so on. Then I move to the class reptiles under the vertebrate class, and reptiles are mostly characterized by the presence of dry scales. Their scales are not wet as that of fishes in water because most reptiles are found in land, but a few of them also live in water. That's the aquatic environment. So their scales are mostly dry, and the scales serve as a means of protection of their delicate organs from abrasion or other harmful effects of the environment. Even though they are majorly crawlers, they crawl, so they need something that will help to protect their body, to take those friction and protect them from damage or harm. Examples of them are crocodile, lizard, snake, alligator, Komodo lizard, and so on. And birds is the fourth member in the class vertebrate. In the category of vertebrates, the birds are called aves, A-V-E-S, aves. Now, birds are the only animals that possess or have feathers covering their body. No any other animal has feathers, any other animal group per se. Now, their major characteristic is the presence of feathers, like I said earlier. Then they have beaks. Their beaks is what leads into their mouth that helps them to pick food or direct food into their mouth for digestion. Now, a good example of birds is the sparrow bird, the ostrich. We have other species of birds like the pigeons, like the dove, the eagle, and so on. The fifth example of species or animals in the vertebrate category is called the mammals. And they are called mammals because they have a mammary gland. They have fur and they produce milk. They can breastfeed their young ones when they give birth to them. A good example of mammals are rabbit, kangaroo, human, dolphins, many others. And look at their major characteristics also in this picture. So vertebrates and characteristics. Fish, you see them dwell in aquatic environment. They have scales, they live in water, they are cold-blooded, they lay eggs, and they have gills. By being cold-blooded is that they require the environment of water to regulate their body temperature. Then amphibians are animals with smooth skin. They live in water and land. They have dual life. That's why they're called amphibian. Amphib means double life or double living. Then they are cold-blooded. They also require the temperature of water or the environment to regulate their body temperature. Then they lay eggs. Then we have the reptiles. The reptiles have scales. They lay eggs. They are cold-blooded too. Then they have lungs. That's why most of them come basking under the sun whenever there is sunlight very early in the morning, so that their body temperature can be regulated well. And mammals have hair or fur on their body. Humans have hair. Then other lower mammals have fur on their body. Then they are warm-blooded, which means they can regulate their own temperature from internal parts through the foods they consume, especially fats and oil. Then they live mostly on land. Then some few mammals like whales, like dolphins, live in water. Then they give birth to their young ones alive, and they have lungs for breathing. So as I said earlier, birds possess feathers. They are warm-blooded, they lay eggs, and they have lungs for breathing also. Vertebrates majorly are animals which have a backbone, as you can see in this picture. This is the backbone running through the spinal cord and connecting to the entire nervous system. This is the spinal cord as it is. That's what gives us the flexibility to turn, to twist, to jump, to run. We can do a lot of gymnastics or aerobic activities. Whenever this is damaged, one is reduced or limited to sitting down on a wheelchair. As you can see here, the spinal cord connects all the nerves in the body to the brain. So it is through the spinal cord that information is being transmitted from the external environment, which we call stimulus. Stimulus refers to things like heat, temperature, pressure, touch, anything that the environment can send into our body for response. They are called stimulus, what we respond to. Bones that form a backbone are called vertebrates. Look at the invertebrates generally. They are animals without a backbone, and we have different categories or species of animals that fall in the invertebrate class. So we have the arthropods. They are mostly insects. Example, we have crabs, we have spiders, centipedes. Crabs are animals we call crustaceans. Then we have centipedes. They all fall under the phylum arthropods, because arthro means exoskeleton, then pods means foot. So when you put the two words together, animals that have an external skeleton with a lot of foot or limbs. So their characteristics that they have segmented body. They are animals with hardened outer skeleton and jointed appendage. Appendage simply means the legs and the limbs, the hands, the legs that makes them to move from one place to another. Then we have the echinoderms. And the echinoderms are mostly animals that we find mostly in the sea. They are aquatic animals. We have the starfish, we have the sea urchin. They are spiny skin animals because they have spiny skin. What that means is that their skin has protrusion, and it serves as a means of protection from predators because of the spines are sharp at the edges. Then we have the phylum Porifera. For instance, sponges. They are very simple animals found in water. They are paw-bearing animals. They have like a hole in their body which allows the incoming of water and food. Then the other simple part of the body takes it in for growth and development. Then we have the phylum Cnidaria. We call them Cnidarians. Example are Hydra. Hydra is a simple plant that also is found in water. They have hollow intestine, or they have a kind of a hollow intestine body that makes it look like a Y, has a protrusion like this and an entire body. So they take in water and other smaller plants from the surface of water as their means of food. Then we have the phylum Platyhelminthes. These are the flat worms. They have worms that are flat. Example of them are tapeworms. They are flattened, they are elongated, means they have a long body. Then they are worm-like because they tend to crawl on the ground, or those ones in water will tend to crawl to the shore and look for food. And some of them are actually parasitic worms because they attack the body of other animals like mammals. They attach to their intestine, they attach to their large or small intestine for majorly feeding, but while they are there they cause certain harm or sicknesses. So we try to make sure it is clean, it is purified, and fit for drinking. Then for foods, we need to prepare them hygienically before we eat them, because those are the areas through which you can contact some of these parasitic animals that causes infection. So for now, I bring it to a close. I hope you enjoyed your time studying with me. I'll see you in my next learning segment. For any question, I'm on standby to take them. Bye for now.